Welcome to day 508 of the journey begins. We are live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. We are trying to get to 300 followers on TikTok and make affiliate on Twitch. And we are currently in Inkwood working on our ravine. We are switching things up and trying some moss mining around the ravine for now. We'll still need some kind of staircase or something up, but I think this will help us out some. So let's get back to it. It does mean we'll need to start throwing our hoe into the rotation, but that will help us, because that will be one more tool. We can use our 2 pickaxes, shovel, and hoe to get things done. So there we go. Oh, but we will need, yeah, so we have to use our shovel for gravel, our pickaxe for minerals, and then anything that we can't pick up with our hoe, anything that isn't mineable. So I think we'll leave some stuff over here. Maybe what do we do? It's like 30, 20. I think anything beyond 20 will. Right, so this is 21, so this would be good. So we'll go through this, use that as our cutoff point, so that we can have stairs here that go up to our composter and bed and whatnot up there. Because we won't be able to there we go. Well, scratch that thought. We'll just want to be able to get up here, so this will make it easier to do that. Which, speaking of getting up to our bed and that, let's actually do that, since it looks like it's night. Oop. There must be a cave around here somewhere, because I don't know where the mobs would be that are keeping us from being able to sleep. Over there, I guess? Because we don't want to keep having to go into the bed. Not that we don't have enough rockets, but it'd be inefficient to have to fly back every time. Every night, so like every, 20 minutes or something. It's a lot of rockets to burn. Alright, so we're going to have to though, it looks like Good to be back. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll just have to get as many as we can get done. At least it doesn't require sand for the rockets. All right, so let's get back to it. Don't have it set up, but I kind of wish I had one of them AFK or some account on here so I could put that as one of the cameras. Kind of watch it tick down as we went. Pausing every once in a while to check chat, make sure we're not missing anything. $120. Okay, there we go. All right, let's grab some more moss. I think we can use the moss as we go, and then we can switch over to our pickaxes, and then that'll get us a little bit more done. That? Okay. Perfect. Right. And then if we say 230 or 1930 is the wall on the outside. I think that'll work. And then it was 20 something, right? So right around here. Yes. So that takes care of that. We'll come over here and we'll just moss it up a bit. Yeah. How much of this can we get mossed up? Get my fingers on the right spot bar buttons. Welcome in, is it Barney the Third? All right. Oops. So the ravine here is part of the story that we're trying to write around Inkwood. So that's why it needs to be so prominent. We needed to kind of force the entry into a particular spot. So having it be dangerous will allow us to do that, and then it will make it visually look a little bit better too within the game. So give us a double benefit there. Oops. All right. Is that 30? Okay. That's 29. Okay. Is here. All right, so we'll backtrack a little bit here. There we go. Make it easier to see, and then we can kind of touch up the last few steps later. We're making pretty good progress. We already have got down to close to 0 on the other side of the stairs. And we have a few bore shafts down to help us get down to bedrock if we need to do any work down there ahead of time. And then we have some lava boreholes on the sides, or on one side anyway, so that we can use that to gauge where the wall comes down. So again, we have another guide as we're working from the bottom up and the top down. All right. Let's, are we full? We might be full on items. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Work our way back. All right. Let's go drop this stuff off. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to drop off all of this green stuff we don't need for now. And actually, we should probably put a... Maybe we could put something there. Oh, we won't be able to open it if we do that. Oops. Yeah, we'll bury some stuff here, and then right with the dirt, stone, extra gravel. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, thank you for the like, IDK1720. I appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the stream. And 30. Okay, good. How's your Friday going? Alright, oh, wait. We didn't grab any more bone meal, so we can't, can't increase this. So far so good. Our Friday's not bad. We got some editing done on our world tour, so we're gonna release that later tonight. I'm not a professional editor by any stretch, but I think we have it cut down and then experimenting with some audio, so we'll see how well that turns out. Or some audio editing. So we're using DaVinci Resolve 20. So, and Farlight within that, so we're just going to do like a little intro at the beginning of that video and then just have some like generic music on TikTok and then on YouTube as well. So I guess we'll have to remix it for YouTube because we'll have to download the music and add it to it. But for TikTok, we'll just add the music after the fact. And then we're going to cut it down again and do the individual areas. So like Inkwood, Overmorrow, Barter's Bay, we'll do all those separately as well. So productive day overall. Later today, we're also planning to work more on our story. See if we can get chapter 17 outlined. Because the world we're working on here is actually part of a novel we're trying to write. So either going through the world as you go, or maybe reading it first and then kind of wandering through and seeing what parts of the story you remember, or seeing where it might have taken place. Because we'll have a solid bridge here, but in the story we'll have it, collapse. Oop. Right. That gets us that. And, oh, so we have some gravel there we're going to need to pick up. A lot of gravel, actually. I could probably pick up some of this copper, too, as we go. Alright, let's go back now and drop off some of this. And if we light up that wall, maybe that'll help us remember where our kind of border is that we're working off of now. Our secondary border. Don't need any of... Oh, that's fine. Oop, no, we don't want that in there. Can't compost that. That goes in here. Okay, perfect. Grab some more. Because I don't think we're going to be able to sleep. It's probably monsters some by. Because those are probably the ones that are causing the issue. We have... Yeah. So we're just going to collect some more moss and see if we can work till daylight. See if we can get 2 days in and try to save some rockets as we go. Right. Oops. You steal a moss block. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Oh. Can we do that? Yes. Perfect. Let's do that, and that will... Oh, it must have been one of those little carpet blocks pushed us forward. Oh. Oh, we don't even need to... I mean, I guess a hose a little faster, but even the torch is fairly fast. I mean, I guess not fast enough to quite make it worth it, but if we're in a pinch, it's not bad. Alright, so... Get... There we go. How much of this can we get mossified? All right, cut it over here. Perfect. That's good there. Oh, we ran out. Okay. So let's we'll keep some of this so that we can get it mined out later. Let's grab our moss block here and fill that in. Okay. I'll have to drop off some of this, but that'll be okay. We're not near full yet. Okay, good. All right. Nope. There's a chest sitting on those, so those won't turn to moss unless we get rid of the blocks manually. Okay, perfect. We just weren't close enough. Okay. All right, let's drop off some more. Maybe we'll get lucky and be able to sleep. Oh, monsters nearby. Okay. Yeah, too far away to come over here, but far enough away that we can't sleep. Or close enough that we can't sleep. All right, let's grab our bone meal again, and let's do this again. Perfect. Now we got the corner done. Need 5. Okay, that works. Over here. Moss carpet over here. Okay. Oh, there's a skeleton. Let's go get him. Been spotted. Alright, he took out himself. Daylight is coming. And nature is going to take its course. Alright. Grab a few more of these. Oh, do we have... him take care of himself. And there we go. Flaming pile of bones. And ooh. What else do we need? We don't need any of that stuff. But we need some more bone meal. Perfect. And does that get everything? No. Almost. There we go. Okay, so that guy's everything now, okay. And does that get everything? I think it gets everything on the side. Oop. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's get rid of this granite here. Let's moss mine that away. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, thank you again for the like, IDK. Appreciate it. I think we're good there. I'm gonna fill this with fill this water with moss. Drain it. All right. That's easier than having gravel on us, I think. Alright, we have a lot of water here that needs to be filled in, okay. So we'll fill... I don't think it works underwater, does it? No. I didn't think it did. So it doesn't affect the blocks underwater or the water itself. We'll just back and forth this a little bit. Pull out some of our pickaxes here and there. So we'll still get a little stone as we go. Okay. And maybe there. Okay. That got a lot of that. Okay, good. We get rid of the coal here, then we'll be able to moss some of this up too. That works out pretty well. We'll find the edge over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And we'll start collecting our moss. Drop it off, make some bone meal, and rinse and repeat. And grab our shovel so we can get some more gravel out of this. Okay. Yeah, this is coming along pretty nicely. A little more jumping than I would like here, but not much we can do about that for the moment. Oh, we need to drop off our seeds. I think all cats are good luck. Oops. We want for Bella, by the way. Thank you, thank you for being part of the stream. And here we go. So let's start mossing things up again. What about you, Christabella? There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Come through on this side and see what spots we missed. We have 2 bone meal left. Okay. Let's clear out a path here, collect our moss again. And collect a little bit of stone as we go. Don't want to have to wait for next time to do that. Perfect. Now we can clog that leak there, and then now we're ready to go. Just up and down a few times, and now we should start. I mean, we're getting more bone meal than we're getting enough bone meal from the moss each time to let us do a little bit more. So we should start getting more bone meal than we can use. And that's going to help us get down a little faster. I forget where we started, 50 something. Now we're down to 48. So making pretty good progress. And having a wider tunnel will make it easier to fly down and do more of the moss mining later. Or stone mining, whatever we need to do. We do still need a lot of stone for Haven's End. But we've captured a lot here. Probably 5 or 6 double chests of stone. I mean, spread out across more than that, but I mean, a chest like this, well, this is mostly cobblestone, but there's a number of chests around here, and there's a lot of stone and cobblestone, so there's a good amount. And then between that and whatever we still need, we can always go back to the mines under the garden temple, because that all needs to be cleared out anyway as well. And we already have a process in place there that we can follow to dig, so not like we're losing a lot. I mean, we're definitely can repurpose the stone, but this is a little bit faster, I think, so. Put up the diorite, andesite, cobblestone. Okay, good. Can we sleep? It has to be a cabin around here somewhere. I don't see any monsters in sight that would... I mean, the skeletons I just saw up here, so I don't know what would cause... but this is night 2, so we're going to need to sleep so we don't get any phantoms that accidentally come down and knock us around. Alright, let's go back out now. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. Let's go make sure we have a layer done. Okay. Now we'll go through here. Get that later. Okay. Take out some azalea trees. Yeah, there we go. Oh, hey Jay, how's it going? How's the progress on the redstone computer going? And thank you again for the like. Yeah, things are going pretty good here. We're changing it up, doing a little moss mining instead of our regular mining. Speed things up a little bit. I mean, not that we couldn't use all the stone, but I think with what we've collected, we'll see how far that gets us in Haven's End, and then we'll just continue gathering more under the Garden Temple, since that needs to be cleared out anyway, and that'll be way more stone than we need for Haven's End. I will still probably collect as much as we can of that, but over here I think moss mining is good enough for some of this. I think we have a couple hoes around too, but if not, we can just add it to our pool of tools to repair. And we can start off just mining as much as we can, moss mining, and then switch over to our pickaxes later, and that way we can get more done in between mending sessions. Can we pick all this up? Yes. What's our inventory like? Okay, so let's just go drop this off so that we can get the bone meal going. Get the copper out of there. Double check, make sure nothing got in. Okay, good. And we're starting to generate more than we're using a single turn, so once all that goes through, you know, we have more there. We've got 42 on us. So by the time we come back, we have some more to use. So it's coming along pretty well. Do you have any guesstimate, Jay, on how long it'll be before you get your redstone computer where you call it done? Let's see what we can put in here. We can drop off our copper. Let's see if we can get this layer mossed out. Get everything? No. Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's all mossed out. Perfect. So making progress here, yeah. Another layer down, we're 47. That's not too bad. Month isn't bad. Or at least it doesn't seem bad to me. Yeah. Yeah, if you stream or make any videos on how you do that, I'm always curious, like, how you program something like that. It would be nice if we could get colored redstone too. I think that would make the amount of computers that we could create easier. And there we go. But maybe one day. I mean, I guess there is what is it, the skulk sensors, or the calibrated skulk sensor or something like that. That seems kind of interesting, as well as a quasi Wi-Fi kind of thing. Oh. That changing it to binary would make it a lot easier, I guess. Yeah, so I guess Java has the quasi connectivity. I think like some of the item sorters and things like that, well, the amount of things that could be created with different colored redstone to separate things out and do different lines that can be next to each other. I can only imagine what people would create with that level of flexibility. Being able to have basically data buses. We should probably drink. Yeah, that's true. I do like when they add features that allow current implementation of things to be smaller, because then if you want it for the functionality, you can do the smaller thing, and if you want to make it more of a feature, you can still keep the old way of doing things. So I don't think necessarily giving people an easier way to do it means that that's always the way that people are going to use it, unless they just don't want the challenge in the first place, in which case they'll just switch over to creative. I have projects in the back of my mind, like wanting to do things and play around with how efficient things can be, but for now, all of the farms are more focused on how they look in the build. Like Silent Whisper does stuff on Bedrock, and he modified the Shulker farm there. And just made a, well, that's one of the images, I guess. Oh yeah, the one that's now in the bottom left-hand corner. That was one. Shulker farm designs based off of Silent Whisper project, and our creeper farm is based off of something from Prowl. Yeah, we have a ClickUp project where we. Ooh. So we've kind of phased out our builds and then write down a number of projects in each one of those phases, and take notes on it, inspiration, material list, that kind of stuff. So when we get around to it, we can make it a little bit easier to implement. Like one I guess that has an advantage on Bedrock would be the Guardian farm, where you have precise locations where the Guardians will spawn. I forget how many it is off the top of my head, but you can calculate the locations, and then you can make a really efficient Guardian farm that way. So things like that. Oh, guess we didn't have enough. No, it's just me playing. Sometimes I keep my other account logged in to do like AFK stuff while I'm away from keeping farms active, but right now it's just me, or just this account logged in. Generally, like overnight, we'll leave AFK account at some farm doing some work. Oh, of course. Of course. And yeah, our AFK, or not our AFK, our spirit account is actually logged in. Well, not logged in, it's sitting around somewhere over here. But we're going to send it back to Haven's End just to lay down some slabs in the background. Because probably end of July, we'll probably, 64. Or I guess once we get the ravine done, we'll probably go over there and go to Haven's End and do some more work there. And actually, we might want to pull our spirit account away from the slabs and get our tunnel to the library done so that we can start showing off that. Yeah, because Haven's End, we've slowed a little on the slabs while we're getting the story framed out. Because we were just kind of working there while we kind of thought about the story, because it was going to be a lot of time putting down the slabs anyway. And now that we have a clear direction, we've been focusing more on getting that laid out. And then we'll go back to Haven's End and work on that. Because that's ultimately where book 1 would finish as kind of a closing scene, and then where book 2 would start. Alright. Just didn't want to go with grass there. This in. Did we get everything? Okay. That's pretty good. Now we can move forward. Okay. Oh. Okay. We do that. At our current rate of progress, I'm guessing it'll probably take another maybe 3 weeks. We might bounce around with some other projects if we need to. But if we stick solid to the ravine, I'm guessing about that long. Just because we're taking it down to bedrock, just for the fun of it. It's good there, yeah. If we get the tunnel to the library done, then the ravine might take longer because we'll probably bounce around doing some of that stuff. Building the ravine, the same as like getting it taken down. I'm not going to build a lot in it once it's taken down. It'd be just roughing up the walls a little bit of texturing, and then it'd be one of those projects that if it really bothers me later, then we'll throw it back into the mix to add some texturing. But as long as we have the depth and a little bit of mist coming up, that'd be good enough for now. And if we need to take a break, there's always, working on the garden temple or getting the library going or something like that. Getting the paths at Oasis City so we can start laying out that. So getting the whole story or all the projects in within the story will probably take quite a long time, but getting them framed out, I'm hoping to get done by the end of the year. Because once they're all framed out, we'll not only have the story, but we'll have a variety of farms and stuff that we can use. With the newer materials like resin and the frog lights and things like that, that we can incorporate into builds in other areas of the world. There we go. Let's do the thing. So yeah, ravine digging out, we're estimating about 3 weeks, and then maybe another week of texturizing. And the texturizing might not be continuous, but roughly that amount of time. Yeah. So outside of Minecraft, we do a few other things. I enjoy writing code in general, Java, C, of that nature. Trying to get into some GD script, which I guess is Python S, trying to make some games in Godot. We have a Lego channel where we put together Legos. I think we've taken several months off, but I have one video I need to get uploaded, and then a few more in the works. Other games in general, so we play a lot of Satisfactory, like Baldur's Gate, Diablo. We do a lot of cooking posts. I want to do a cooking channel of some kind, but haven't really got that going. But as far as a hobby goes, I would count that as a hobby. I would say, well, yeah, general model kits in general, woodworking, although we don't get to do as much of that lately, but hoping to get back to that one day. General electronics, so we've done some robotics, Arduino, things of that nature. Oh, thank you. Oh, should probably making food. We need to eat something. Yeah, I'm trying to get better, not just at cooking, but the food photography aspect of it as well. Without doing some of the kind of tricks. Like, it's doing, I forget what it is, like one of the lava cake kind of things, like putting a fresh like Hershey's Kiss or something inside of it, so, and then microwaving it right before you take the picture, so it comes out looking a little different than it would if you actually baked it. So avoiding those kind of things, but still trying to get some of the coloration and lighting aspects down a little bit better. And I guess video editing kind of is a hobby, although I'd say it's a hobby more than a passion. So I like editing the Minecraft videos and the Lego videos, but it's not something I don't think I would be able to do professionally. I mean, I guess if I was successful enough here, then that would technically be professional, but there's definitely a lot more talented editors out there. Okay. Go here. How about you, Jay? Any hobbies you want to share? I'd probably count traveling as a hobby too, but I haven't got to do that as much in the recent years either. I enjoy trying other foods and seeing other parts of the world. How much space do we have? Okay, we got enough space. Grab those and then we'll still head up. Oh, chess. Yeah, I enjoy chess as well. I used to play a lot of, was it Playsite? Which I don't think is a thing anymore. I was very, very low ranked there. Low is in not a high number, but entry level player. And I played a lot of Maurice Ashley, some battle chess back in the day for the non-traditional. But let's take care of this guy. But, yeah, I do like chess, and I actually have a small collection of chess sets. I never did jiu-jitsu, but I did do some taekwondo back in the day. But that's been quite a long time. I've kind of traded it in. I've done 10 marathons. I don't know that would really count as a hobby, but probably the most active thing that I've done in recent years. All right, sleep again. And once I get the Godot game in a playable state, I'll probably start mentioning that more too. I'm hoping to get that done in the next, well, not done, but hopefully get started again on that in the next maybe 2 to 3 months. I try to stream for a minimum of an hour. I'm trying to increase that to an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe once or twice a week now. It just depends on how many people are in chat and how active things are. So today, yeah, we're making pretty good progress. I'll probably stick around another 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, if we make the 300 followers or make affiliate on Twitch, then the goal is to consistently do 2-hour streams at least twice a week. And then do hour streams, at least 3 1-hour streams during the week. Right now we've been doing it every day. But if other situations change, we might have to cut that back. But for now, we're doing it every day. It would be great if I could do this more often. I mean, not just Minecraft, but doing, I think it's Adam C. Younts. I don't think they stream on TikTok, but they do like a programming session on Twitch on a game that they're doing. So I'd like to do kind of game dev streams as well. And then do more of like the storytelling. And maybe throw in some other games as well. But first we have to make it to that level. And yeah, so coding on like Godot game development, but it doesn't have to be just that. I've had a few little ideas that I've thought about for like OBS as well. When we get around to them, we just have to see if anyone else is already working on them, but I've had a few ideas that for monitoring and turning on and off audio or ways to make that easier. So if those aren't implemented by the time I get around to it, then that could be something interesting to do on stream as well. And we do keep track of all of that. Oh yeah, and 1K, yeah. So welcome in, Spaghetti. So yeah, we have lots of plans on different projects that we want to do, and we would, stream as much of that as we can as we go. But stream and or what do you call it? Curated videos on YouTube, if we can't stream it live. So if we're doing cloud stuff, we'd probably want to run through it a couple times first, and then just make sure that we're not doing anything that would expose any, well, anything, not just cloud stuff, but exposing any keys, secrets, things like that. Which is probably the reason I think Godot would be a good place to start. Let's see what. That's the stone now. And iron. Okay, there we go. All right. That is it. Oh, excuse me. That's it. Is a deep hole. What are we at? 44? Okay. It's probably about a 40 block drop then. Oh. Oh, so we're gonna need to do that. Yep. That's the one thing that is a little time consuming on the moss mining is I keep hitting the grass instead of the moss. I'm at Y level 44 right now. And yeah, so I can see some deep slate down there, which is round 5. And I don't think we can see it from here. Can we see it from over here? No. So there's another little, I guess under this outcropping here, a little scaffolding that goes down to bedrock. So we sent our spirit account down there to do a little lighting, so if we fall down there, it won't be complete darkness. And it's not completely mob proof, but at least it's safer than it was to start with. Oops. Go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've seen some people use that. I think they're mostly Java players. Is that available for Bedrock? Uh, the uh, the create mod, which I mean every 6 months when we take a backup of the world. Oh, which thing only had remix? But yeah, every 6 months when we take our backup, we put a survival copy available, but then I make a creative copy for myself, and then I have a few scripts that I use to, particularly in the nether, to clear out all the netherrack above Y67, so that we can actually see the progress that we're making there, and to dig out all the bedrock as well, the bedrock on the ceiling. So I could probably use those scripts here in a creative version of it to figure all this out really fast. But one of our other projects that we want to do is a Substack, kind of probably monthly article, something that we can do and maintain, but probably a monthly article on calling slow tech, of trying to increase attention span. So to intentionally take some things and do them longer, and either putting a story behind them or finding some way to get some thinking out of working on projects that take longer. Which is why I need a Substack, so I can actually put the thoughts together in a coherent manner. But that's kind of the thought in a nutshell of how to use technology to kind of slow down. So to get things that you need done, and to do it quality, but to not make that the only driver, and to use it to use technology in a joyful way. Which I guess, speed is your goal, and that's still joy too. But making sure that however you're using it, you're aware of why you're using technology, why it's helpful, why you might like it, or helping you find why you might like it. I don't know how successful that would be, but that's one of the projects I want to do. I have the opening articles started. I just need to get that finished and out in the by the end of the month. There we go. Okay. Do you have enough? Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab a fish and then. Okay, so get all this out. And I think part of the slow tech too might be kind of getting the thought out there of the new shiny syndrome. Making sure that whatever new tech, whether it's a language or a device, is actually is good and doesn't just sound good. Yeah, things like that. So I've also been playing around with with things like N8 end and make. Oops. So not to say that automation can't be good, but just being mindful of those things. was it like, you know, back in the day of doing like mail merges or something like that? Yeah, that kind of stuff could be automated, and probably not something most people like, but again, if you liked it, you could continue doing it, and if you didn't, you could automate it away. What is our count? Okay, not bad. Get this dirt out of here. Okay. Oh, you don't have to be sorry, Jay. Thanks for tuning in as long as you could. Happy to have you here. Have a good rest of your day. And we're probably going to be wrapping up here in another couple minutes anyway. We're going to drop off some of our moss. Go do our clip. And then do our outro. And see if our world tour video is done rendering. Okay. Stone, okay. So we need to mend our tool, but that did a lot of work today. All right, so we're gonna take our ladder up. Grab some fish along the way. And okay. Where is our... There it is. All right, so we're at like 124.15. And looking down at our ravine here, seeing how much we did today moss mining. That's quite a bit. So 124 to 125, and then we cut it down. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. All right, so we're going to drop down. We're going to sit over here while we look down and do our outro. I think this is a good spot. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this whole chunk here is pretty good, and then we'll just continue that down that way. So we got down pretty low there, and this will level it out a little bit, and then we'll start moss mining it down even more. Because the front here is the biggest side. When we get to the sides here, they're a lot shorter, so those, even if they're a little wide, it's a lot shorter. So I'd say, you know, another week on this, maybe a little extra, and then 4 or 5 days on either side. Ought to be pretty close, depending on how long we stream. So not too bad, so we can get it done. But anyway, that's going to be our stream for today. So thank you for joining day 508 of The Journey Begins. Thank you, Jay, and everyone else on TikTok and everyone on Twitch for the views, follows, and likes. Appreciate it. If you want to see more of what we're doing, you can check us out on Linktree. It's a linktr.ee/mindtripmedia. And that will have links to our VODs over on YouTube, our mostly Lego builds YouTube channel, our Blue Sky, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitch is all over there as well as any other projects we're working on. So you can check that out. And if you like these low-key build-based streams or story-driven builds, you can support us there. And if you really like it, you can share them out and help us grow. And with that, we will see you tomorrow when the journey continues. It will probably be a little bit later in the day, so probably post 6 p.m. Pacific time. But we will see you tomorrow.